Calling the September 10th, 2024 Board of Trustees meeting for Butler Community College by standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. The next item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. I think we have one addition so far under item 11, board action items, and that will be
Welding at Rose Hill, the MOU for welding at Rose Hill. I sent that information, emailed it to everybody last night. So we'll add that as an action item.
Under 11.
11B.
Thank you.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I move that we add the topic for action for the MOU for USD 394 welding program as item 9B as in Bravo. 11B as in Bravo. Thank you.
I second.
Okay, we've moved in second to make this addition.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Hueslig,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, are there other changes or amendments? Deletions? Nothing? Okay. Then I would accept a motion to.
I so move we approve the agenda as read.
And I'll second.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Hueslig,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I would like to open the public hearing combined with the revenue neutral rate hearing. And I declare the public hearing for the proposed 2024-25 Butler Community College budget now open. The purpose of this hearing is to hear and answer objections of taxpayers relating to the proposed budget and consider amendments to the proposed budget as required by KSA 79.2929, and to consider exceeding the revenue neutral rate as required by KSA 79.2988B3. The budget hearing is being held in conjunction with the revenue neutral hearing as authorized by KSA 79-2988B3. I'm Linda Jolly, Chair of the Board. Seated with me around the table, starting with Trustee Good to my right, Trustee Brungart, Trustee Rhodes, Trustee Hueslig to the left, Trustee Shearer, and Trustee Smith, as well as President Dr. Kim Kroll and Executive Assistant to the Vice President of Academics, Kim Jackson, to my right. Other Butler administrators, faculties, and staff are also present within our audience. To briefly explain the budget process, several months ago, we began with recommendations from individual department heads, which were then reviewed by our budget officers and senior administrators. In conjunction with parameters set by the Board of Trustees, the administration developed a budget recommendation that was presented to the trustees. At a regular meeting on August 13th, the Board of Trustees passed the notice of hearing to exceed the revenue neutral rate and budget hearing for the 2024-2025 budget. This notice set the maximum expenditure budget by fund at $93,837,196 and the maximum amount of tax to be levied at $14,406,813. The estimated mill levy rate for the proposed budget is 13.268 mills, which is a 1 mill increase over last year's mill levy of 12.268. The revenue neutral rate of 11.671 mills is set by the Butler County Clerk. The proposed mill levy of 13.268 mills exceeds the revenue neutral rate by 1.597. The expenditure budget provides the college with the ability to increase its operating budget to address significant and anticipated expenses. The notice was published in the college's official newspaper and on its website as required by statute, with the hearing set for 4:30 p.m. today, September 10th, 2024, in the Hubbard Welcome Center, 901 South Haverhill in El Dorado. At this time, I will open the public hearing to comments from individuals who would like to speak. We request that you hold your comments to 5 minutes. Please announce your name and address and sign the sign-in sheet. Individuals may speak again after all interested parties have spoken. The board will not take any action or participate in discussion during the public comment period. We will provide closing statements once everyone has had a chance to speak. We did receive one written comment, and so Dr. Kroll will read that first.
Thanks. This is a letter dated August 12th, 2024 from Danica Dixon, who lives at 921 West Olive in El Dorado. She lists her phone number as well at the bottom of the letter. She states, I'm unable to attend the meeting addressing the intention to raise property taxes due to being out of town, but would like my voice heard. So I'm submitting this letter in my absence. Please do not raise property taxes. I'm an educated but low-income single mother who owns a modest home in El Dorado. I work hard to provide for myself and my son, and I'm a responsible citizen who contributes financially and otherwise to our city and county. My property taxes went up in the 23-24 tax season. My homeowner's insurance also went up $450 this year. This spring, I managed to finally purchase the empty lot next to my home in hopes of eventually building a rental home or garage on the lot to improve my existing property. This was a huge accomplishment and took years to accomplish, as I make about $35,000 per year to support myself and son, and that income also supports the city, county, and college. My house payment was increased $150 per month this year due to the rising cost of insurance and inflation. Please do not punish the lower and middle class who are doing their best to support families in Butler County while contributing to the budgets mentioned above by restricting their ability to improve their properties and therefore the economy and housing in the county and city. By forcing me to pay all this money into your budget, I will never be able to save to achieve my dream of improving the lot next door. You have already recently raised my taxes. Please listen to the citizens you serve and vote to not increase taxes. Sincerely, Danica Dixon.
Okay, next, I have Denny Lewis from Augusta. Would you like to speak? Take it go. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Denny Lewis. I'm at 20.
I'm sorry, I forgot to read some.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, I want to do that before you start. Okay.
It's
Too
just
many
at the very-
pieces of paper,
Read that one when we get to the regular public comment.
so I don't have to.
I don't think you have to because you stated in the opening comments about keeping their comments to 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'll read it for you.
That's okay.
My name is,
Just once a year. It's
Okay.
confusing
my
sometimes.
name is Denny Lewis. I live at 28 Lakeside Drive in Augusta. And I want to mimic what she had written in her letter, not to raise my taxes again. Mine is going up 10.651%. And that's exceeding the revenue neutral rate of $71.66 for me. I'm retired and I live off of Social Security, and any tax rate increase, and there are several that's increasing their taxes, is a huge impact to me and to others that are retired and on a single income. So I just, in my mind, I can't justify that in my mind of why that the taxes need to be raised. As a matter of fact, you know, we don't use the college. All of my kids are grown and out of college, and So I don't personally contribute to the college needs. So why should I pay for it? I guess is where I'm looking at. I think that there ought to be a thing written. I know you guys can't do anything about it, but once you're on Social Security, you don't pay any more taxes. But I just want to voice my opinion on not raising the budget, or you can raise the budget, just don't increase my taxes. I don't know how you're going to do that, but I know that it's not just me. You know, if you guys vote to raise the taxes, you guys are impacted by that as well. But I just want to take in consideration the seniors of the community that don't have an impact to the college or anything like that. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak that hasn't signed that up yet? Okay. You'll need to, we have more for you to fill out, but if you'll start by giving us your name and where you're from, then we can get that before you leave.
Thomas Williams, 15754 Southwest 40th, Benton, Kansas. Resident of Butler County for probably 40 years. And my children are grown, got grandkids. They've all gone through the Circle School District. And I just want to reemphasize everything that's been said before. I've been retired for a number of years. And I've seen our property taxes just continue to go up. And I know the mill levy sometimes goes down, but I look at the dollars and cents, and our property taxes continue to go up. The appraised value on the properties go up. Consequently, we pay more in taxes. And I don't quite understand why we're always having to increase the budget. I've got some questions to address. And one is, I'd like to know the DEI in this part of the budget. What percent or what amount is budgeted for the DEI?
Public comment. Linda, do you want to speak? We don't answer.
No, we can't answer the questions during public comment, but we will get back to you with answers afterwards.
Okay, because
Give us a few questions.
I know that inflation and everything has gone up, but you know, when you're retired, in Kansas is not a good place for retirees. That's all there is. I have friends across the country and have an older brother. He left the state to retire because the taxes are too darn high. Property taxes are high. Butler County, when I moved out here 40 some years ago, they were much less than Sedgwick County, but they continue to go up and rise. And I don't know what the enrollment is of the college. Can you answer that? Has that gone up or has that gone down? Can anybody answer any questions right now? No?
Sorry.
And what's the reason for that? What's the reason you cannot answer my questions now?
It is time. You will see some of this question you're asking will probably hear a section of our board meeting that has to do with that, but we'd be happy to provide you with the information. Otherwise, it would really be too deep.
Because I guess what I'm thinking about, I'm pretty much on a fixed income as well. And we have to adjust for increased insurance costs. My homeowner's insurance went up $1,000 in the last 2 years. And then the property taxes go up, and your increase is what, 9.7%? Is that correct? I mean, who knows? You're the board, you're the trustees. Who's got an answer for this?
It's 13%.
Is it 13%? I'd like to know, have you tried to reduce your budgets? I mean, there's things, and I understand it takes money to run the university, but my kids are educated. I paid for them. We don't use the facility of the community college either. But these are questions I'm wondering, simple questions, when we're paying taxes, and I've paid probably $100,000 in taxes in the last 20 years. And the bulk of it has gone to USD 375 and Butler Community College. And it's hard when you get retired. We don't have the income that most of you here have. But if you're lucky enough, one of these days, you're going to be in the position I'm in and the gentleman over here. So all I'm saying is that you need to take a hard look at your budget and you need to pull up your belt and tighten it just like the rest of us folks have to do as well. So, you know, accountability. And there's just, for one thing, you're holding this thing at 4:30 in the afternoon. And I wonder who decides that? Who made the decision to hold this at 4:30 in the afternoon? Who on the board can answer that? I mean, you're the board, you're the trustees. Who made that decision to have this at 4:30 in the afternoon? Well, I'm saying that you got people that are working out there 8 to 5 and working jobs, providing for their family, and you expect them to take off from work and come to a public hearing like this at 4:30 in the afternoon? Shame on you, board. Have some consideration for the taxpayers. That's what you're asking, a big percent of increase on your taxes, but yet the people that are paying them, they can't afford to be here to represent themselves. Well, I hope I got my point across.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else from the audience that would like to speak? If no one else, we have. Yeah, Pete Farrell. If you want to be next, unless there's others.
I would. Okay.
Okay.
Madam Chair and the board, my name is Pete Farrell. I live at 16218 Southeast Farrell Road, Beaumont, Kansas. Thank you, Madam Chair and the board, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts about this remarkable institution. Like my father before me, I had the privilege of being a trustee of this college. I served in the early 90s. Started that job just a few years before Bill Rinkenbaugh came here. So I qualify as a geezer. My father served during the period when El Dorado Junior College became the Butler County Junior College. To say the least, my family has an abiding affection for this school, and I love the name that is now called because I think it describes what we do. Butler Community College. I've seen this college go through a lot of changes. I'm sharing this because I personally know that the trustees face difficult decisions, such as this one. How do you discern what's best for the college, for the student, and for the taxpayers? I think the data provides guidance. If I managed a business that was returning 300% on every dollar I invested, it would be considered a stunning success. According to Lightcast, which is an international firm that analyzes the economic impact of businesses, communities, and educational institutions, the college has done just that. And this is a hard number from which we all benefit in this community. If a multiplier is applied, then the return on it, in other words, if we include the dollars that are circulated within the community, the investment returns somewhere north of 400% in the college. Furthermore, in the years from fiscal year 19 to 24, the requested investment from Butler County taxpayers was actually decreased by almost 15% during that time period. Butler County had the second lowest mill levy in the state in fiscal year 2024. This data tells me that the administration is running a very lean organization. Somehow they've been able to do more with less in spite of a decrease in student enrollment. However, the fact that the administration did not include valuation increases in their budget for the past 4 years has finally caught up with us. The effects of inflation are a reality for all entities, public and private. Thank goodness that Butler has a significant number of out-district students to help defray the cost of in-district students. Without them, the cost of a degree at Butler would be much higher. To think that Butler taxpayers should only support Butler students is financially short-sighted. It would be like Boeing selling planes only in Kansas. It won't work. The modest mill levy increase that is being proposed for fiscal year 25 is probably overdue. Now, if there is a problem with our property taxes, if there is a problem with how community colleges are funded, in my opinion, that problem begins in Topeka. If you look closely, prior to the early 2000s, every Kansas county made a payment to the community college where their Holmes County students were attending. Now, that seems fair to me. It seems quite democratic. The legislature eliminated this payment from the individual counties and instead indicated the state would include this funding in the budget dollars granted to the Kansas Board of Regents, and it would then be passed on to the community colleges. This funding from the state remained in place for only about 3 years and then was eliminated. Big mistake. Then came the Brownback experiment in 2012, which eliminated income tax on business income and pass-through entities and shifted even more burden to the property taxpayer. As I mentioned, you trustees have difficult choices, but the data is clear. An investment in our community college is an investment in our community at large. It pays off in spades. We have countless testimonies of lives being improved and changed forever. If we look at the larger picture, the greater good is well served. I encourage this board to patch the budget. And in closing, I want to thank each one of you trustees for the service that you are doing to our community and to this college. It's a big job, and I do appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have anyone else that would like to speak? Okay, Mr. Williams, would you like to speak again for another 5 minutes? Okay, thank you. We will get the answers to your questions out to you. Okay. So at this time, we will I'll make some comments to close our public hearing. Thank you for speaking before us today. We value your opinions and want to support the community while fulfilling our mission with a focus on our students and providing them an excellent education. The college is committed to continuing conversations and finding reasonable solutions that will allow us to continue to provide outstanding academic opportunities, support our students, and ensure their success. Be engaged in our communities and be good stewards of all the revenues we receive, including our taxpayer dollars. We want you to know that your opinion matters to us. If you spoke today, or if you didn't, and would like follow-up communication, please make sure your contact information is on the sign-in sheet today.
Resolution.
Okay. Next on our agenda is the resolution to exceed the revenue neutral rate. At the August 13th board meeting, the trustees approved the notice of hearing to exceed the revenue neutral rate and budget hearing. A copy of it is reproduced in our books. The supposed resolution to exceed the revenue neutral rate is shown below. I would either accept a motion and then comment if that's agreeable with you.
Madam Chairman, I recommend we approve Resolution 24-09, a resolution of the Board of Trustees of Butler Community College, Butler County, Kansas, to levy a property tax rate exceeding the revenue neutral rate.
Okay, any discussion? And Kent Williams.
I'll second.
A second discussion,
So that
and
we can
Kent
have
Williams is here to answer questions you might have.
Make my comments now, or when we go to vote for it, that you guys carry it away. I'll say the same thing I've said for 5 years.
I will kind of to answer Mr. Williams a little bit because I too am a retiree and I'm on a fixed income and everything. And this is a hard decision, as Mr. Farrell said, but I look at it as an investment in our communities, in our county. And because and I do not have any children that go here. I did attend here for a few classes and it helped me out a lot. It helped me regain a lot of certification that I may have not been able to get in a shorter period of time. And I just believe in this institution, and we have been on a curve of just cut, that unfortunately, in order for us to sustain and to move forward, we are going to have to exceed revenue neutral. And I don't particularly like it, but I believe in the investment of it.
I'll
Discussion.
go ahead and talk then.
Okay.
This will probably answer a lot of Mr. Williams' questions. Our tax increase is going to go from 12.7 million to 14.4 if we accept the full thing that we don't have to accept, but I don't know what you guys are not doing. It's a 13% increase, $1.7 million actual increase. And then Butler County, our values 4 or 5 years ago was $770 million for our properties. That's what we were worth on paper. Now we're worth well over $1 billion just because of the increase of our valuation, but we don't make more money. We're just taxed more because we are worth more. So our insurance is going up because our properties are worth more, our taxes are going up. We did hold them steady and actually cut them at the college the last 4 years. I did the math. It's 65,000 people in Butler County, so it's going to be about $221 for every man, woman, and child will go to this college. Taxpayers, for the total credit hours we have, taxpayers are going to, from Butler County only, will pay $100 per credit hour to the college for every credit hour. If you take the total students that attend here, which is a little over 9,000, that's $1,400 per student that Butler County taxpayers pay to the college. You take full-time equivalent of that, if you're taking 30 hours a year, we're paying $2,900 per full-time student to come across county lines to Butler. 80% of our students roughly are from Sedgwick County or out of town. Same with the teachers, 70-ish%. They come across the county line, save some money at our behalf, and then go back. So, I mean, the county-wide economic impact is there. I would argue it's not in Butler County as much as it seems to be with that study. And also, it's not a zero-sum game. If we kept our own $14 million as a county, we could invest. We could build our garages like Danica said on Olive Street. I mean, we would have more money in our pocket. The thing, it rubs me the wrong way. I think we as a board could focus more, make trim, investigate where we set as a budget and make the hard decisions as a board and not blame anything else, but just hunker down and say, hey, what's all the data? Where can we trim? And it's going to fit everybody. I'm sorry, that's what I say. But what I feel is it's from each according to his ability to each according to his needs. We as a board are able to make the hard decisions. We choose not to. So now we're in a position, on the other page, it says, the expenditure budget provides the college with the ability to increase its operating budget to address significant unanticipated expenses. These are significant. They're not unanticipated. Kim Brungard has said, your insurance is going to go up. What's the plan for 2 years now? It's going up. That's not unanticipated. Healthcare is going up. That's anticipated. These costs are going up. We're not really addressing the costs. We're just raising the taxes. We have made some cuts, but they're not significant if you look at our budget overall. That's all I have to say. I said every year.
I'll add to that. I mean, when you talk about the fact that the college hasn't raised taxes over that period of time, we also got $16 million infused into the institution because of COVID. And the state has given us additional funding as part of their whole plan. So the college has had plenty of money. And what Shelby has said as far as trying to actually make hard cuts,
I don't see it happening, especially if you consider the lack of growth in enrollment. I think we're up this year for the first time in, what is it, 10, 12 years? And it just, I get so frustrated because as a board, we're told that we need to come together, we need to cooperate, we need to, we need to really meet each other in the middle. And in my 2.5 years almost, of sitting here, there's no meeting in the middle. There's the majority do what they want. Shelby and I beat our heads against the wall and there's never any compromise. So I'll vote no, as usual. It won't matter. There we go.
Other comments?
I get tired of this meet in the middle discussion. We're individually elected to represent our constituents and do what we think is best for the community, for our area where we reside, and for the college. And what's best for the college isn't always that we should have a 7-0 vote, even if that means compromising on what we think is important and what we think is best for the college. So suggesting that we should just all come together on a budget that everyone can agree with, one, it won't happen because Shelby, to your credit, you've been very outspoken. You're not going to agree to a tax increase. So suggesting something a little bit less isn't going to create a 7-0 vote, but it now causes me to do something less than what I think is right solely for the purpose of consensus. And that's shirking the tough decision that you're challenging us not to make, or that we're not making. I think it's convenient to say that the college hasn't done anything to try to cut costs when we don't have the time right now to discuss what they've done. Anybody that's watched these board meetings for the last 4 years, there's a huge difference of opinion between how much visibility certain trustees think they need to have on the day-to-day operations and the budget decisions of the college, and to suggest that administration is not doing anything to significantly cut costs and not making those hard decisions is, I believe, completely false. That's just, I won't get on that soapbox. There's not enough time or a detail right now to talk about that. I appreciate the comments that folks had about fixed income and taxes going up. I'm not in that boat yet. I'm going to be. I understand it. But just as inflation and rising insurance rates have impacted the public, they've impacted the college. And our sources of revenue are limited. We get state funding, which we don't have a great deal of control over. Thankfully, as Kim pointed out, we have been getting funded the last couple of years, but we went a long time without getting it. We have student fees, which hopefully are on the increase. We have seen an increase in enrollment this year, and we have taxes. Those are our options to try to generate the revenue that we need to run the college and provide the economic impact that the college provides. And I appreciate that everyone's acknowledged there was some public comment. I think there's misunderstanding that college taxes have not gone up for the last 4 years. In fact, they've stayed the same or gone down. I get those same tax notices, and overall my taxes have gone up the last 4 years, but that's other taxing entities than Butler Community College. I don't enjoy coming here and voting in favor of a tax increase, but our job is to do what's best for the college. And I think where we are right now economically, that's what we have to do. And I'm supportive of that.
Mary Martha, do you have any comment?
I have no comment right now.
Here.
No comment.
Are you?
Yeah, I just have a couple things, and I do say these also often, is I feel like we need to look at a multi-year plan and quit making decisions on single issue things in a vacuum. It keeps us from being able to do some long-term planning and figure out we try things, then we wait a year, it doesn't work. So I would prefer that we spend more time looking at long-term budgeting for the college. We can't buy a loaf of bread for what we bought it for. We have worked hard to negotiate lower insurance rates for our buildings and so forth that have gone up tremendously. Insurance for our employees. And I feel like in a lot of us instances, we're doing our best. But otherwise, I think that we need to take a bigger picture look at things, and we can make decisions. But I don't want to make a decision on uninformed, last minute, that sort of thing that we have happen sometimes, so. No other comments, I would call for.
Like this. I think as that's the challenge I'm trying to lay to us as a board. I mean, we're ultimately in charge of hiring the president who sets the agenda and runs all the administration and all that, but we as a board need to request, this is what we're looking at. Where can we work towards being more efficient? And then put that more as a priority, because this is my 5th year at the budget and we don't really get presented lots of stuff. And sometimes it's after requests and requests, before requests, we can get a certain amount of data and then it's maybe not even 100% of what I'm requesting if I don't spell it out explicitly even more than I thought I had it done well enough. It's like, let's work more as a team for the best of the college and the taxpayers. Let's see all the data. Let's be totally transparent and just say, hey, how can we make this better? Like take out some of the infighting and just have the data be available. This top night tonight, whatever the board majority votes, that's policy of the college. I mean, but we can still vigorously debate it. Like if you watch Canadian debates, it's ridiculous. They're yelling at each other on the side of the, like, you, Mr. So-and-so, are, we're not to that level. I mean, I think it'd be good if we just had full transparency, know what's what. Like this year, the first year I've heard before the 20th day, hey, here's what we're kind of looking at. We got anything specific. The last 4 years, like we can't possibly tell you anything till after the 20th day. And then maybe in October, if you request it again, and then more months down the road, it's just like, hey, let the trustees know this is where we're sitting. Okay, great. We're all informed. We're all on the same page. We're all fighting the same fight. And then let's just continue to be better and be better.
So I just want to make a clarifying comment and just kind of a reminder for folks that the students that come to us, we do have a significant population percentage of students that come to us from outside of Butler County, but they pay more per credit hour. They pay $30 per credit hour more than our in-county, actually $31 now because the Butler County students pay $91 a credit hour and the out-district
99.
and I'm sorry, yeah, 99, yeah, out-district and across, Kansas students pay 130. And so last year alone, those out-district students, just with that difference in, last year it was $30, this year it's $31 difference, but last year, just that $30 difference, those out-district students, just with that differential, paid $2.6 million more than our Butler County students. And so they do contribute because of that out-district tuition differential. Dodge and Butler County have the highest differential tuition for our students of all the community colleges across the state. So I just wanted to remind folks that those out-district students do pay a higher tuition than our Butler County students.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? If none, I'd ask for the roll call vote.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
No.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes,
trustee Huesling,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
okay, motion passes 5-2. Next is to adjourn our public hearing. Could I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
Madam Chairman, I so move we adjourn our public meeting.
A second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, we'll go ahead and take the vote.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Huesling,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
and trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, our next item is approval of the 2025 legal and operating budget. Kent, do you have comments?
The information's there. We've been presenting to you for the past several months. It's consistent with the August 13th report that we can give you. So, that's particular the budget.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the legal budget for 2024 and 2025 as published, with the amount of taxes to be levied for the general fund of $14,406,813 and the total expenditure budget for all funds of $93,837,196, and approve the operating budget expenditures for 2024-2025 as presented to the Board of Trustees on August 13th, 2024 in the amount of $58,186.76. $756, sorry. Let me restate that last number, $58,186,756.
Second.
I got tongue tied.
Okay,
I
we,
was thinking about the numbers.
we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Couple questions. A couple months ago, I saw that the BKD software was budgeted. I'm just making sure it's still in this budget number, and I had asked for the foundation ballpark number, what they're budgeted for also at the last meeting.
The BKD is budgeted.
We'll have to approve it later.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the total budget. You want to approve it individually. It's
Right,
part of the
no.
budget. The amount of the foundation budget that's supported by the college, I don't have that number off the top of my head.
21 is 386, and 409, 429, 454. That was on the over under report you gave us minutes ago that I asked, is it going to increase again this year?
Well, the percentages of the salary that's reimbursed by the foundation doesn't really change. So it'll be very similar to what it was this year, just with the 3% raise there.
Just following up. I'm not going to pull any shenanigans and try to amend the motion. It won't matter. Tried it 4 times.
Anyone else have comments? Okay, yes, ma'am.
My only other comment that I have to say, but last year was an election year. Butler sent out tons of information. Hey, we cut your taxes. We value your taxpayers, blah, 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 blah. Which kind of scooped my campaign, like, hey, we're for taxes too. We lower taxes. And now here we are. Dave Sundgren was here. He was the leader of a PAC for 4 of you people, and 3 of you people. Spent $5,000 of his own money as a $30,000 PAC. He comes here and talks to us and tells us for this to raise our taxes. It's like, okay, but I mean, that's politics, You got me. But it's a little duplicitous to market out how important it is to keep our taxes low. And then once we got the numbers, just to go ahead and catch up last year's tax cut and this year's. That's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? So if you're comfortable, we'll vote.
Trustee Good?
Yes.
Trustee Brungard?
No.
Trustee Road?
Yes.
Trustee Jolly?
Yes,
Trustee Hueslick?
Yes.
Trustee Shear?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
okay. Next on our agenda is recognitions. And I think Dr. Crawl.
We've got a lot of investments.
I know, I'm excited. So let's have the athletes, the ones that are here, the athletics, it's come in first. And Bill Rinkenbaugh, I'm gonna have you help me, okay? You just have to stand up. You just have to,
Headline, look.
you just gotta stand up, Bill. These are separated out. These are separated out into teams. And what I'm gonna do is just read, they don't necessarily see this. Whatever. Because they're not all gonna be here, but.
I'm sorry.
Come on in.
Come on in, guys.
Come on in, you guys.
Just any open space.
Just. No, I'm talking. Don't give me the mic.
Trying to be on the back row.
That is so.
Huh? I don't know if anybody's taking pictures. Anybody taking pictures? Kelly? We have more? Do we have more athletes coming? Is that all of them? Okay. I knew, whoops. I know not everybody can be here. So this is a great opportunity to recognize a small segment of our student athletes that are also outstanding scholars. And so it's really fun every year to recognize these students. I put in the board book that a number of them received NJCAA and KJCCC, which is our Jayhawk conference honors. For the KJCCC, these students have to have a 3.5 GPA to be recognized at our conference level, but at the national level, NJCAA, they all have to have earned a 3.6 grade point average or higher. This is just a small portion of them. I think we had 70, I think last year, almost 70 students, but some of them have transferred on or graduated or whatever. So we have about 30, I think, students that are still here enrolled this fall. And this is a great cross section of them. And so I'm just going to go down through the list kind of by team. If you're here, raise your hand so they can see, who you are. And then we've got certificates for everybody. Bill's going to kind of hand those out by team. There's a couple of coaches here. So the softball folks are here. Since you guys are right front and center. So raise your hand if you're here for me, please. Okay. Claire Lopez, Callie Mann, Madison Nightingale, Chloe Ottle, Kristen Moran. And we have a couple of coaches that are here too. Morgan Bohannon, Kimber Cornelia is a coach, and Megan Johnson are coaches for softball. So congratulations, you guys. We've got some outstanding soccer folks here. They're kind of short back there, so you guys may have to come up front here just a little bit. Sorry about that. So Coach Adam Hunter is here with them. We have London Hunter, Ruby Kilden, Saki Matsumoto, Sakiko Manabe, Logan Riley, Elena Runk, and Macy Windsor. So congratulations, you guys. Men's track and men's cross country. We have Adele. I'm not going to pronounce your name the right way, right? Okay, there you go. Adele Akeem, thank you, is here. And he works for Jan in Great Western too. So congratulations. Oh, and we've got Coach Mark here too. Mark Emerson is here. Women's cross country and women's track. Allison, are you sticking with me, Bill, there? Or am I getting too fast for you? Okay, Allison Unruh and Zothiel Mumbali. Did I say that? No, I didn't say that right. Sorry. Do you go by Zoe? Just, all right. Well, congratulations to you guys too. Okay, volleyball. There. Okay, well, I still want to recognize them. We have Lainey Brown, Sarah Sullivan, Carly Gertie, Taylon Jones, and Anya Milosevic. And then Lisa Lechtenberg and Tessa Cosby are coaches. Football. Do we have any football folks here? They're probably still at practice, aren't they? Okay. Gabriel Welch, Landon Boss, Seth LeClaire, Ozzie Poge, and Aiden Battle. And then, And then baseball, Cooper Rasmussen, Gavin Willett, William Thomas Gibbs, Dayton Pelfrey, Caden Hinther. And so congratulations to them as well. And this, again, this list is about half of all of our NJCAA academic All-American scholars for last year. So outstanding job, you guys. Yeah, I'll tell you, if I misspelled your name on your certificate, have your coach let me know and I will reprint them, but I took them off of the way that they sent the names to me, so.
Keep
Huh?
studying.
Women's basketball, I don't have that listed. For some reason. So introduce yourselves, you guys. I mean, who's your-
Alba. This
Hey.
is Alba.
Okay.
Field, it's sophomore, Coach Fawcett.
Okay, yeah, Coach Johnson. I'm sorry. I will have to talk to your athletic director and your assistant athletic director about that. But I will get you your certificates, okay? And are there others on the women's basketball team?
I believe she will.
Okay, well, I will connect and get a certificate for you.
You tell your
Sorry about that.
teammates to start studying.
Thanks, you guys, very much. We're proud of you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Is Valerie still out hauling? Okay, we're gonna do the jazz ensemble folks next. Yeah, tell her jazz ensemble. I hope I did. I hope I'm not the one that missed women's basketball.
I see your jazz.
I don't think it was on.
I know, it's still makes sense.
Huh? What?
It still makes sense. Sorry.
Oh, they're low, sorry.
Well, I saw her too and I was like,
Keep my man card.
I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Or did I?
I think it's track.
Okay, because I didn't see him acknowledge any of, okay.
oh, which ones?
There's a track. I think it's track.
That's how you say applause.
Is he a
Nice.
coach?
My daughter's.
Mark Emerson's a coach.
Great.
You know, he's an assistant coach.
Oh, he is? Oh.
Is this the jazz group coming? Come on in, you guys. You can stand over there if you want to. Okay, Beth.
Sure.
Yes, I do too. I did print one off.
Okay.
So the group that we have now are members of the Butler Jazz Ensemble and directors Brett Martinez and Callie Bitterline. They recently received an invitation to play 2025 Kansas Music Educators Association in-service workshop this coming February. And we're really proud of them. This is a really high honor being asked to perform at the Music Educators Conference. And they indicated that in the last decade, only 4 community colleges have ever performed for them, and twice it's been Butler. 2016, our clarinet quartet did, and now our jazz ensemble. And so we're really proud of you guys and excited for you. It'll be really fun. So I listed in the board book. So if you're here, raise your name, but I want to go through all the names of the folks that are on jazz ensemble. So on alto saxophone, Landon Burkett, Gabe Parker, and Haley Mizagade. Is that close? Maybe close. Okay. Tenor saxophone, Vincent Aramburu, Aramburu. Okay. Kayla Potter, Alexis Stone, Barry Sachs. We have Alex Backus and Adam Long. On trumpet, we have Kylie Metzger, Preston Schutz, and Mark Fanning. On trombone, Jackson DeForest, Maxwell Morris, Caleb Wilson, and Dylan Dirksen. On drums, Jared Goldstein, Dylan Bauscher, and Kiana Mantanona. Bass, Lauren Anderson. Guitar, Jacob Mick and Draven Ramsey. Piano, Cabron Wetzel. And then percussion, we have Cameron Ekdahl and Irvin White. So congratulations, you guys. We're excited. Yeah. There's certificates that Mr. Martinez has that he will give to you. And thanks for being here. We're excited and we'll look for an update post the conference in February, okay? Okay, thank you for being here.
Thank you for studying.
This child designed the bookmarks.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay, you want to get Cheyenne Bullard and Veronica for me? Well, they both showed up. together before the meeting started.
No, Veronica was involved. That was a young lady that,
All right. I didn't realize that. Okay. And her name was, last name was Lopez, right? Is that right? I can't remember. Do you see Veronica? Can I give her your certificate?
yes.
You give her, okay, I'll give you her certificate. You can- Okay. Oh, here we go. Good deal. Sorry, you're all there by yourself and I didn't see you. So you're Cheyenne, right? Cheyenne Bullard and Veronica is it Rangel? Quick action, quick thinking on August 21st, perform the Heimlich maneuver for a Butler student in the cafeteria who was choking. And public safety has given them both life-saving awards, but I wanted to recognize them here at our meeting as well. EMS said that these two young ladies saved her life because of their quick action. So thank you and congratulations. And we're really, really proud of you. Appreciate it. It's always a little uncomfortable. Thank you. Teresa Eastman couldn't be with us today, but in the board book, you'll see that she's our Director of Disability Services and ADA Compliance Officer and Section 504 Coordinator. She does a lot for her colleagues, a lot with her colleagues, and she presented at the Association of Higher Education and Disability Conference in Baltimore, Maryland in July. She also presented with three of her colleagues from Lee Carbon Community College in Pennsylvania and Spartanburg Community College in South Carolina and J. Badger Consulting, which is a private accessibility and access firm for the pre-conference. She also served as a reviewer for this year's conference proposals, and she also serves nationally as the co-chair for the Community College Knowledge and Practice Group. And so she's very engaged nationally. And of course, is a great resource for the college and for our students. And it's always pretty phenomenal when our folks have an opportunity to serve at the state and national level. Just really enhances our service to our students. So congratulations to Teresa. We do have Connie Belden with us. So Connie is a professor of business administration and accounting and was recently elected as the vice president and president-elect for the American Accounting Association two-year college section board. So again, great service at the state and national level, very engaged in her profession and brings great information to the classroom. So thank you, Connie.
Congratulations.
And then let's see, I'm not sure we have, is everybody else up in the hallway, Valerie? Did we get them all in? Last but not least is the group of folks, most of them in accounts receivable. Donnie Mercer and his accounts receivable team every year. Yeah, come on in, you guys. We've recognized them before because they're always very highly engaged in community service projects around the area. And so in the board book this month, we have recognition for 4 different events or initiatives that they helped with. And so last September, they helped with the Butler Homeless Initiative. December, they helped with the Salvation Army and even pulled in a couple of folks from admissions to help with that. In February, Great Beginnings, which is part of Branch's Pregnancy and Family Center. And in May, they helped with Sunlight Children's Services. And oftentimes they'll do painting, or they will stock shelves, or they'll unpack boxes and hang out things, clothing and things like that. Salvation Army, obviously ringing bells and stuff. So have certificates for Donnie, for Tima. I'll let you guys take that to folks that we work with. Casey Killen. We have Amy Warner and Amy's spouse helped with one of those events as well. Lisa Rumsey. Joni Gilbert. Susan Rommelfanger, who's not employed any longer, helped with all of those events. Nancy Daw in Andover helped. Reed Morris. Nia McClure helped. Jonathan Elliott helped with the bell ringing. Cheryl Potter from admissions and from Jessica and Bill's office helped with bell ringing, and then Martisha Cooper helped as well. So congratulate these folks and say thank you. Those of you, and I'll give these to okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for volunteering. Thank you for allowing all of these great recognitions for our students and staff. These are great ways to tell them thank you. So appreciate that.
Okay, next we have our regular public comment. Is there anyone wishing to make comments today?
These are student government.
Oh, I thought you said. Okay.
Hi, I'm Kylie Metzger. I'm the new student government president for the 2022 student side.
We'll,
Oh, here.
we'll have you come over to the podium.
You want to
Oh, I don't know, maybe I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
You can read their names off, so you just stand.
Yeah. Okay, wait just a second, So,
Okay. First, is there anyone that wants to make public comment under the regular monthly opportunity? Okay, if none, we can move on to our standing reports, and Kylie, you're up.
I'll start over. Okay. Hi, I'm Kylie Metzger. I'm the new student government president for the 2024-2025 school year. Before I give my report, I would like to introduce my fellow SGA members. So we have Preston Sheets is the vice president. Troy Turnbull is one of our coordinators. Gabe Ripstein is another one of the coordinators. And Ethan Mulligan is our other coordinator. Haley Mizigatis is our secretary treasurer, but she had other obligations today and she couldn't be in attendance. Now that we've all introduced ourselves, I want to report some of the things that we've done in the first few weeks of class. We had a welcome week during the first week of classes and held a few events for students to participate in. On the 19th, we hosted an ice cream social. On the 20th and 21st, we did a scavenger hunt and gave out clues via our social media. On the 21st, SGA sponsored a pickleball tournament with the Pickleball Club, which was incredibly successful. On the 22nd and 23rd, we did Activities Unlimited, where we had tables on Andover campus and El Dorado campus with QR codes so students could scan and kind of check out all of our clubs here at Butler. On the 23rd, we held Make Your Mark alongside Res Life, where students could hang out and draw with chalk on the sidewalks and have popsicles and just kind of hang out with each other. We also have restocked our food pantry for students to come and get any non-perishables and hygiene items during our office hours. So that's pretty much wrapping up the first couple of weeks of classes. We have so many more fun things planned for this fall semester that I look forward to sharing with the board as those things happen. Thank you all for allowing us to come in and introduce ourselves and hear about what student government has been up to lately. Are there any questions?
thank you, Kylie.
Okay.
You did great.
You guys can go. We were just letting the students know that they didn't have to stay. They didn't want to. Thank you, guys.
Operational staff report.
Good evening. I'm pleased to report that the welcome back tables were a great success once again this year. We are very grateful for the board approving salary increases and keeping our health insurance at the same cost, which is very appreciated by the operational staff as a whole. Our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, September 12th at 3 p.m. in Andover. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Neil Freeman with the professional employees report.
Hello. I have a few new things to report since the last time I was here. In mid-August, we had our annual Fall Association meeting. And at that meeting, I officially accepted the position of the president of the association. This did cause a vacancy in my previous position as vice president. And we appointed Corey Tubner to fill that vacancy. And Corey is here. He could stand awkwardly while I say nice things about him. If you'd like.
I like how you use the word appointed.
That's the way it works since the position was vacant. We do have elections for our vice president and either secretary or treasurer every 2 years. And then on the other 2 years, we do president and the other one. So anyways, Corey was hired as a full-time English professor in 2012, and he has been a member of the Education Association since day one. Corey is a fantastic educator and a fantastic employee. He has always gone above and beyond for his students, for the college, and for his colleagues. And I am very appreciative that he accepted this leadership position for the association. So thank you, Corey. Now that classes are fully underway, we are starting to work on plans for some faculty and student appreciation events that I am very excited to share with you in my future reports. And last but certainly not least, I am thrilled to report on this year's scholarship recipient. A little background in case anyone new to the board is unaware of our association scholarship. The Butler Community College Education Association scholarship was initiated in 2018 as a way of providing support to students interested in pursuing a career in education. This is an endowed scholarship managed by the foundation and entirely supported by monthly and annual contributions from faculty. We appoint a scholarship committee chaired by Professor Susan Forrest that meets every August to choose a scholarship recipient from those who applied through the foundation. This year's VCCEA scholarship recipient is Emma Rodriguez. Emma is a Mays South graduate who helps with the Boys and Girls Clubs, is a youth development coordinator, and an assistant coach for a kids basketball team. She is an elementary education major hoping to complete the BEST program at Butler. If you happen to cross paths with Emma, please wish her congratulations. And that is all I have.
I have questions. How many members do you have this year?
For the association?
Yes.
We have 96.
And how does that differ from last year?
Our membership kind of fluctuates throughout the year. So they're at what point last year? Yeah, I couldn't really tell you. It might be an increase of maybe 10.
Your predecessor, I would always ask, what's going on in the classrooms? And he never did respond well to that invitation. I encourage you to let us know what's going on campus with classes and interesting ideas that are going on in the classroom. I think that would help our perception.
I do consider my job to report to you on the faculty, and if the faculty have interesting things to report regarding their classes, I'm happy to pass those things on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Board Finance Committee, Mary Martha or Dave?
We don't have much. You have the finance report on your table. If you see any thing that you'd like to look at, please ask. Kent is here to answer questions.
There you go, Kent. The institutional support, what it's like at 26.64%. I just.
Institutional support would be all the functions that are not academic support and student service. That would be like facilities, accounting, HR, those kind of things.
Okay, thank you.
It also, if you, in your board book each month, the page that follows.
51.
Yeah,
On
page 51
what
gives
each
you a little bit
category
more
is.
definition about what each of those categories are. I always have to refer back to it because to remind myself to.
Okay, that's all. Anyone else have questions? Okay, if not, the foundation report, Forrest.
Yeah, the foundation board met last month for its quarterly meeting. Just give you an update from there. So the Bank of America and US Trust presented the portfolio performance. The fair market value of the foundation's endowment as of June 30th of this year was about 16.37 million, which reflects an increase of about 1.5 million over where it was same time last year. The foundation received 2 gifts from different estates, one from the estate of John Hilton and one from the estate of Shirley Highland. The Hilton gift will support a 6-figure endowed scholarship, and the Highland gift is an unrestricted gift to the foundation. The foundation board of directors voted to amend the foundation's 24-25 budget to accommodate the college's request to assist in reducing the college's operating expenses for fiscal year 2025. The board also elected to increase the minimum amount necessary to establish an endowed scholarship fund from $10,000 to $15,000. Just as a side, the foundation will accept monies less than that, but they won't disperse. Is that right? They won't disperse scholarship monies until it reaches the endowed level.
That's correct.
Okay.
And why?
I'll let Tom answer that one.
Yeah. So as tuition increases, the impact of a scholarship at the 10,000 level is not, yeah. And so, and it's also in keeping with our peers who have raised their endowments. In comparison, let's say the WSU Foundation has raised their minimum endowment to $50,000 to be impactful to students. So it's all following the cost.
Thank you, Tom.
Yes, thanks, Tom. Fundraising campaigns, the foundation is preparing to support the college's reconstruction of the Hubbard patio area. Preliminary conversations have been occurring about an athletic executive fundraising committee regarding a potential facilities projects, and discussions also continue regarding a scholarship campaign as we approach the 100th centennial of the college in 2027. Finally, from in terms of scholarship and college support for fiscal year 2024, the foundation provided about $5.45 million in scholarship and program support to the college. In fiscal year 2025, the college has awarded about $741,000 in scholarship support, which I guess would all be this semester, money going to kids this semester, fall semester of 24. Yep. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Okay, if no questions, we'll move on to the Educational Facilities Authority report.
Well, tomorrow we have a meeting, and someplace along the line, they put the lines on the track and got that all done. So basically the track and turf project is complete. The football team has been practicing on it. There have been a couple of not football games, one football game that was very well attended, and high school is getting ready to have a football game on it, I think. Several soccer games have been on it. So it's tried and true and tested and really looks good. Tomorrow we have a meeting to probably approve bills. But the colors really look nice, and the new logo looks really nice of BG Products, and it's the same turf company that put in Augustus and put in Mays and different around the area. So it's very high quality. We did elect to go with the higher quality to hopefully ease on any concussions that may happen. So, and I think that's going to be probably a part of like when the NCAA meets and things like that, that they're going to start to requiring fields to be safer, if you will, with the technology that's coming around the bend.
Questions? There are none. Dr. Kroll.
Thanks. Just a reminder that this Thursday, September 12th, At 7 p.m. is the Harold Smith Cultural Series. Mitch Holthus, the voice of the Chiefs, will be joining us on campus. So that'll be fun to hear him speak. I have a recap of the KACC meeting that was held August 24th in Kansas City on the Kansas City, Kansas campus. We met in person. They had a presentation from EAB related to higher education trends and the impact of artificial intelligence in the world. A presentation was provided by Heather Morgan about trends in Kansas higher education. There was a marketing presentation provided by KCC to help ensure colleges understand the return on investment that they should be measuring related to their marketing spending. Seth Carter, who's the president at Colby Community College, gave an update on the president's meeting, which covered a number of issues, including what colleges are charging in tuition. Greg Mosier, who's the president of KCC, gave a tour of the new lab that they have developed to serve multiple business partners as well as Panasonic. And the next meeting will be held December 6th and 7th at the Labette Community College Parsons campus. The Butler Snow game that's held the weekend of Goldfest, September 28th. Our amazing BC TV Plus crew. This is going to be another ESPN production. That'll be really, really exciting. And so they had to get all the paperwork and everything signed before it could be announced. It's been announced in the past week or so, but come to that game. It should be really fun. It should be a packed house. And you may be on TV. I mean, you never know, you know?
What time is kickoff?
7. Oh, sorry, what time? 1:30. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. Smash Mouth is in the evening, so you can stay for that. Little bit of enrollment information. Next Monday is 20th day when we finish stuff up and have to send it to KBOR. Esam and his team probably won't do anything until very late on Monday or Tuesday. But those are just 20th day numbers. They aren't certified. They aren't necessarily official, except that we send them off to KBOR. But excited to be able to tell you that our credit hour enrollment over last fall is 6.85% higher. Our head count is just over 4% higher. And the areas where there's the greatest growth, new students and transfer students, more than 14.5% above last year at this time, and high school enrollments, more than 7% higher than last year. But we'll have certified, they're not certified. We'll have 20th day numbers that will be available after Esam and his team run them next week. And then I want to turn the floor over to Esam for just a few minutes. As you know from my email, he's taken a new position at Rogue Community College in Grants Pass, Oregon, and will be the executive director of, I won't get the order right, but assessment, planning, assessment, and accreditation. Is that the right order? Okay. So, Esam.
Thank you, Dr. Krell. I do appreciate Dr. Krell and Chairman Jolly giving me a couple of minutes to come before you. And normally you hear it during these announcements, but I have come before you over the years so many times. I thought it was only appropriate and polite to come here and tell you that I've enjoyed working with you. And I remember when I stepped into this role, my predecessor said that, well, that's going to be the top one. You have to go there every meeting. So, well, can't we hire you to come back just for that part? Over the years, what I've seen is I brought to you information which is sometimes good to hear, sometimes not that good to hear. But I hope that I brought information to you which is always accurate to the best of my ability. And that'll continue. As I leave, there will be a transition period. Obviously there's some chaos in any of these transitions, but I can assure you that we'll do it together so that the quality you expect from my team continues. In the interim, Dr. Jenna Gannon will be looking after it. She is here. And we'll continue to provide the information that you expect from us. That being said, there are times that I fumble here. And who who cannot remember the time that I have to come in front of you and say STEM orphans or FAC orphans? I promise you that is being fixed. Going forward, the term will be unaffiliated. But really, over the years, you have shown me kindness, you have shown me patience, you have shown me grace and friendship, for which I'm very thankful. This may be my last time here, but thank you.
What happens if we don't accept your resignation?
That's a good one. That's a Shelley question.
Thank you, Esam. Esam, you've been wonderful. Thank you so much. Just outstanding in
I
your field.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
For the last time, if you have questions, I'll even take the hard ones. So,
Are you guys gonna be continuing to do pretty much what you've done with, on the website? Or just, I mean, your name's on that anyway, right?
Yeah, I am already the kind of point person for our data hub.
so it
Has
is,
that been updated this year? I know it's September, October when it hits for 24.
So, yeah, and like.
You need to come to a microphone.
Here.
So our annual collection numbers, those were certified last Thursday. And so those have been updated, annual collection. Census day is on the 16th. So once those numbers have been run, those will be updated and I will be working on the rest of those collections next week.
so it is butlercc.edu/data hub. We are very proud of putting everything public there. So when you go in there, what you see is generally the most updated information. It's something I've been very proud of, and it'll continue to be that. I hope it is. Jenna has promised me she'll continue to update that. That's where you go and see it.
Color coded.
I appreciate that. It's a differentiator.
It is. Yeah. No. If not, well, thank you and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have no monitoring reports. The next item under 10 is board self-evaluation. And I did have an opportunity to go through all of them, even though I failed to participate.
For the second time.
Third
time.
Let's just say I'm not a good survey taker or something. But with that said, I did notice a number of different things. And with your permission, I'd like to start bringing a few of those to either work session, you'll know in advance, what sections we would talk about. But I think we have some opportunity for discussion in some of the sections. I also need to get back to our HLC promises of different things that we were going to try to do. So unless you have other discussion items based on that, we'll move forward, but I will be starting to bring some of those items to you, hopefully in work session first, just over a few minutes. The next item on the agenda is a presidential search update. And last week we had the opportunity to meet as a screening committee. And we originally had 45 applicants with Gold Hill Associates. Dennis Michaelis was here this time. Preston Pulliam was here before. But Dennis was here, and through the evaluation of the applications, and I think we ended up ultimately with 13. We started with 15. One came off, another came off, but we have selected the top 6 candidates based on the screening committee's input. And so next Wednesday and Thursday, we will be doing Zoom interviews with those 6 candidates and discussing afterwards who the 4 finalists that we're going to move forward to the board of directors. We will have executive session this evening and we can talk a little bit more. We will set the dates for the actual interviews, the week for the actual interviews. So we'll be asking you to look at your calendars and see when you can commit. We are not going to be required to be here the entire day with the candidate. There's quite an agenda set up where the candidates get to come in, visit the two campuses. There'll be public forum and some things like that. So there's an opportunity for people within the college to come forward and meet the candidates that we're going to be considering. Can you think of anything else, Scott? Is that
We're gonna conduct. Well, I guess.
yeah, that's next Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have the phone interviews with each one.
Was the, not talking specific names, because I wouldn't recognize them anyway, having not seen the list. Was it difficult amongst the committee to pare down to 6, or did you feel like there were 6 that really stood out and there was significant consensus? You're not going to get 15 people to agree on everything, but
Since it's with just the board, do you want to talk about that in exec session with just the board? You can talk a little bit more specific.
okay, that's fine.
I will say I did look this up just to give people an idea. We have 2 female finalists and 4 male. They are from different areas of the country: North Dakota, New York, Florida, Kansas, Missouri, and Texas. Of the finalists, so it's a wide group, and we can give more detail. I would hate to jeopardize any of their careers by saying much more of that. But I would like for our staff, faculty, administration, everyone to understand that the process is moving forward. Well, it's on our time, it's within our timeline that we had. And we have every anticipation that we'll have a new president here at the beginning of the year. So, and of course, we want that perfect person. So anyway, with that said, I think Dr. Sperry is going to talk to us about the faculty evaluation process.
Yes, I think there's a handout.
There is, yep, at your
that
place.
you will receive that outlines the faculty evaluation process. I know there was question at the last board meeting for some information about faculty evaluation process, and particularly if students were invited to give feedback about faculty and their performance. So if you would look through this handout, you should know that faculty evaluation process is required by state statute in Kansas. And it's also a fundamental expectation for accreditation from HLC. It's on a rotational schedule that is, and the whole process is outlined in the faculty handbook. Adjunct faculty are evaluated as alongside full-time faculty. The schedule, which is outlined by the state, adjuncts are evaluated once in their first semester and in their second semester, and then in their second year of employment. They are evaluated once, and then they are evaluated once every 3 years. So if they continue to be employed as adjuncts, it would be in the 4th, 7th, 10th year and continuing. Full-time faculty are evaluated in the first and second year of employment once a semester, and then in the 3rd and 4th year they are evaluated once a year, and then they go into that cycle of every 3 years. So you can see the component pieces of the process that they're outlined there. At the beginning of a appraisal cycle, a faculty person develops their own faculty performance plan, and they outline goals that they want to determine for themselves in that appraisal cycle, but they agree with on those goals with their dean. Then the faculty development staff, Megan and Mark, administer student evaluations, and we use something called the Evaluate Kit. And it's administered electronically to students through their Canvas course shells. So all students in a course that is being evaluated in terms of their faculty have that opportunity. At the chart at the bottom of the page, you can see over the last 7 semesters how many students have been invited to respond and the percentage, and it's very high, the percentage of students that respond in terms of the performance of their faculty and the quality of the course. So you see that there are hundreds of courses that are evaluated every semester, and you can see the number of both full-time faculty and adjunct faculty that have been evaluated over the last 7 semesters. So students have that opportunity. Then the supervisor, which is generally the dean or associate dean, will do classroom or online observation of the faculty's performance. And then the faculty will provide documentation of sample assignments, assessments. They will document their professional development and also their service activities. Then they also will complete a self-reflection kind of essay, and it's submitted to their supervisor. The supervisor then looks at all the documentation, including the feedback from the students, and completes a summative faculty performance appraisal report based on all of those components, and then reviews it with the faculty person. In terms of the weighting of the evaluation, 60 to 80% of the evaluation is based on their actual teaching, and then 10 to 30% of it is about their professional development, and 10 to 30% is based on their service to the college and the community. That those percentages are agreed on between the faculty person and the supervisor. So if a faculty performance would be deemed in any of these factors to be unacceptable or needs improvement, then a performance improvement plan is required in a short span of time. And depending on the nature of the need for improvement, would determine the plan that would be constructed with the faculty person and their supervisor. So, yes.
Bill, when I taught out here and the students would fill out the evaluations on us, we never got to see them. Do the student evaluations, when they fill those out now, are they shared with the instructor?
Yes, there will be a meeting between sometimes for adjuncts, it might be a chair that would share that information with them, but the faculty person will see the aggregate feedback from the student, and they can see anonymously feedback from students in terms of comments.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, I would say that there are standard questions in the instrument that students use, but there also can be customized questions depending on the department and program.
Other questions?
Thank you very much. That was very informative.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Okay, board action items, Venusia license agreement, Heather Rinkel.
Yes, I'm gonna speak to this. Christie's unable to be here. So Kanusia is a software that some of our competitors are already using in the high school space. And so it was brought to our attention that it's being used, and so we did a demo. And so this software, what it is doing right now, our high school directors go out to the high schools and they take stacks of paper with them. The students are, filling out applications, enrollment paperwork, things like that. The high school also shares information with us in terms of a student's GPA. They send official transcripts. So we take a lot of paper to the high school. The high school sends us back with a lot of paperwork that then we scan in. So this software is allowing us to eliminate a lot of that paper. It's allowing us to do some of that correspondence through this platform rather than emailing back and forth or bringing paper back and scanning it. In addition to that, our registrar's office spends a significant amount of time at the end of each term to share those grades then back with the high schools. It's just one giant PDF that goes to the counselors. They have to then manually input that into PowerSchool. This software integrates with PowerSchool, so it's going to help us with communication and just create efficiencies. Our enrollment continues to increase in high school. We anticipate that will continue. And so we have restructured a little bit to spread that work out across all of our directors. But it's still a lot to manage. So this will help reduce some of that busy work and help us spend more time with our counselors and with our students.
I would move to approve the Kanusia license agreement as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, or is there any discussion or other comment? If none, we'll do the roll call.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart.
Yes.
Trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, the next item, 11B, is welding at Rose Hill High School's MOU, and I believe Heather's doing that
Yes,
also.
I will speak to that as well. So we have spoken before about Rose Hill, and they had created an extension of their building where they intended to house construction technology. We worked for a couple of years to try to build that program there and did not have success. We had one student interested, obviously not viable to run with one student. So we continued conversation with Rose Hill. Obviously, there was concern that the school district added on to their building for us, and that has sat empty for a couple of years. So the new superintendent came to us and indicated that welding would be something they would be interested in. Our welding program here has been full this fall and have a waiting list, I do believe. And we've had high school students that are going to other institutions because we don't have room for them here. So they have requested welding. So as you can see in the MOU, if you had a chance to read through it, welding's an expensive program to run because we already have the space. Butler's cost would be to just renovate the HVAC and to fit that space where construction was originally supposed to be welding. Rose Hill as a district has agreed then to purchase the welding equipment, which would be 12 welders for that space according to our standards so that we can teach our curriculum. This space would also be available not just for high school students, but as we do with all of our academy programs, traditional students are welcome to attend as seats are available. And then there would be opportunity to offer some non-credit on the evenings and weekends. So it would be a great partnership or continued partnership with Rose Hill. The cost, we anticipated Ireland somewhere around $250,000 for that renovation. That would come from the apprenticeship funds from the state. So we're not asking for additional budget dollars. And then as outlined in the MOU, the maintenance of that equipment and the purchase of that equipment would come from the Rose Hill district. We also already have partners in the community that are interested in this and wanting to support it.
Heather, now I don't know anything about welding. So when you have 12 welding booths, does that mean only 12 students can be enrolled?
Yeah. And what are we at here? Isn't it 12 or 13? It's more than that. I don't remember what our welding is here, but it's, yeah.
But that may be on a per hour basis.
Well, the other thing would be, as most of our ECA programs operate, we can have a morning cohort and an afternoon cohort that would allow us to run too.
Like here on campus, don't we have a max, like, is it 12 or 15?
It's somewhere in there. I don't know off the top of my head, and so I don't want to answer incorrectly.
But it's only, say, just say a dozen offhand per semester period. It's gonna be $200,000 to $300,000 just for exhaust.
Yeah, that would be the
The rest
startup
is-
cost. 15 here in El Dorado. I would add as well that this is a program that is 100% Excel and CTE funded, which means that the state of Kansas will reimburse the college for the tuition. So the high school student pays zero tuition. So as you can imagine, there's high interest in the program. And some of our neighbor colleges, their programs are full and have waiting lists. So there's definitely potential for enrollment.
These apprenticeship funds that could be used somewhere else, or are they just sitting there to be spent for whatever? Or I mean, are these funds that could be spent somewhere else at the college?
They are for the college to spend, slated for apprenticeships, workforce development, things of that nature.
Programs, specifically programs of.
They can't be used for anything,
If we
but
spend it here, we won't have it to spend possibly somewhere else.
that would be true of, yeah, any money that we spend.
My only pickle is I don't like getting stuff last second, making a big decision. When we went through construction, it was behest of industry and industry partners, we had a bunch of meetings and then one student showed up. I would just like more information on a rigid bid, but I know we're trying to get ahead of the ball.
So I want to clarify that this is not asking you to spend the money. That will be a different time. This
We'll
is
get
just to
quotes.
approve the agreement to move forward. Because neither institution wanted to say, yeah, we want to commit to this because we haven't talked to our board. The Rose Hill superintendent approached us last week and said, whatever you need, I'm in. They want to get it rolling. And so that was the purpose of bringing the MOU. This isn't to ask for you to commit to funds. It's approval of the MOU to then get the bids. We're not going to get bids for something if we don't have an agreement in place.
If they could show us, hey, we have 10 students on the waiting list, or
Yeah, we've already gotten information we've reached out to our partner districts who have said in the first year, we would have, sure, we can get information.
Last time it was big demand, but it never materialized. But if
Right.
we had that before, we signed on the dotted line. So we had to go.
Well, I'll go ahead and make the motion that the Board of Trustees approve the memorandum of understanding between Butler Community College and Unified School District 394 as provided.
That's second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Good?
Yes.
Trustee Brungart?
Yes.
Trustee Rhodes?
Yes.
Trustee Jolly?
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick?
Yes.
Trustee Shear?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Okay, next is the consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion?
I guess I should qualify the consent agenda
Wasn't
amended.
amended. I was trying to remember.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
I was
Very
trying to think, where did we amend?
No.
Second.
Okay, motion and second.
Trustee Good?
Yes.
Trustee Brungart?
Yes.
Trustee Rhodes?
Yes.
Trustee Jolly?
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick?
Yes.
Trustee Shear.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, key performance indicators update.
There's nothing new. Yeah. There's nothing new from ESOM on, that information.
Couple of months ago. What?
You're kind of moving to a pretty area of the country.
There's a couple of short reports on some of the strategic plan indicators that you can read. You had the monthly statement of revenues and expenditures, a number of thank you notes. This is the time of year where lots of times we get thank you notes from the students, the Butler County Fair champions and the recipients of the scholarships. So those are always fun to read and to share. The calendar of activities is there for you. And guess that's it.
Okay, executive session, I might mention, we are a little ahead of time.
Yay.
Please don't say 30 minutes or 15 minutes.
No.
We always jinx
1
it.
hour.
know. Yeah, let's go with it.
Take the pressure off.
Yes. Yeah, you're way
Do I have
ahead
a
schedule.
motion?
Sure. If I can find it.
59.
Madam Chair, I move that the board recess into executive session to discuss non-elected personnel pursuant to the open meetings exception for said matters, and that the board, Shelley Stoltz and Kim Jackson be included. The meeting will resume in the Danker trustee boardroom within 60 minutes.
Second.
I found the page.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Good.
Yes.
Trustee Brungart.
Yes.
Trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Jolly.
Yes.
Trustee Huesling.
Yes.
Trustee Shear.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yeah. When people were looking.
Okay.
Whoa, there it is.
Yes. Quick break and there's some snacks in the refrigerator for you. Board.
Did you guys get the USD?
No.
I had two of them in my stack. The one for the
Ooh,
welding.
yes, I did. Yeah. Thank you.
Eat some good luck. Thank you. Yes, I'll miss your socks, dude.
Thing at Starbucks. No, yeah, 100%, yeah. Well, she wouldn't even need a grade, just working her way up, you know. 'Cause she doesn't-
Okay.
Madam Chairman, I make,
Wait, just, we're back. Is that it? Okay. So we entered executive session at 6:24 and we came out of executive session at 7:15. And Mary Martha.
Madam Chairman, I move we adjourn the meeting for tonight.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn.
Any discussion?
No discussion on it, but like adjournment.
I'm going to amend the motion.
Okay, trustee Good.
Yes.
Trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Huesling,
Yes.
trustee Shear.
Yes.
And trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
In my deepest James Earl Jones voice. Yes.
You hit 93, which was pretty good though.